My name is Cory, and recently I just had ACL surgery on my left knee. Before I had surgery, I searched up ACL surgery videos and recovery vlogs, but I realized there was none for cheer. So I decided to start a vlog. Welcome to Cory's ACL Cheercovery vlog. I've loved cheer since I was about the age of 3. My mom used to take me to my brother's football games, and actually I didn't really watch the games, I watched the cheerleaders. And so my mom realized that I loved cheerleading and she got me my own uniform and pom-poms. So when I was 4 years old, the cheer mom for my brother's football team let me cheer with her squad. Even though they were 7 and I was only 4 years old, I loved every single minute of cheering on the sidelines with those girls. But one thing that I could not wait for when I was a child is middle school. And the reason why I could not wait for middle school is because I could try out for the middle school cheer team, and that's where it got real for me. So at the end of the year, I told my dad that I wanted to try out for competitive cheer. And at first he was a little skeptical. I mean, I don't really blame him considering the fact that I wasn't involved in many competitive sports as a child. So let's fast forward 4 years to my sophomore year in high school, where my team won first place at NCAA. And if you're a competitive cheerleader, you realize how big this competition is. Getting first place at NCAA, my team went to the summit, which is in Orlando, Florida. This competition is invitation only, and we got 2nd overall in the nation. This was overall the best year of my life. For my senior year, I had to make a decision, and I chose school cheer. The reason why is because I knew I was going to be the captain for our squad. Although I was very sad that I was not going to be doing competitive cheer this year, it was okay because that meant that I could get ready for college cheer. So during the first day of my school's cheer choreography camp in the summer, we were learning new stunts, but I wasn't quite fully on top of the stunt, and I made a rookie flyer mistake, and I stepped outside of the stunt. Although I wasn't really that high off the ground, I instantly regretted that decision when I heard a big pop in my left knee, and I just remember a pain just shooting up my leg, and I just cried and I held my knee and I could not get up. When our practice for cheer was over, I had to go walk to my car and drive myself since I drove myself there. And I just remember walking and just feeling my knee it kept shifting in when I tried to walk, and it wasn't very stable, but I was just limping, didn't really think too much of it because it was just it wasn't that high off the ground, so nothing really happened, but I didn't really know much at the time. So we went to a doctor that I've been going to since I did my first year of competitive cheer, and this doctor's really good at making sure that I get back into my season. He took an x-ray of my left knee, and he also just did the ACL test to see if my leg would give, and it didn't give. And so he put me on crutches for a week, and then he gave me some exercises to do to strengthen up my leg, and he diagnosed it as a strained meniscus. This was a little upsetting for me considering that football season was just around the corner, and this was also the first day of our school's cheer choreography camp, but it's not too bad considering that I would be back just in time for football season. So when my doctor released me back to do tumbling, I could do back handsprings and like cartwheels and stuff, like basic tumbling. But then when I try to do my back tucks or tutu tucks or just running back handspring back tuck, I realized that there is an intense pain, and I didn't really understand why, if like this pain was happening, considering that this was a strained meniscus. And I told my dad about it like constantly. I was like, Dad, I can't do this tumbling anymore. Like, I should be able to do this tumbling. And I just remember like having my coach spot me for doing a back tuck. My coach spotted me doing a back tuck on a trampoline, and I remember like getting myself ready and mentally prepared for this back tuck. And I just remember right when I landed, pain shot up through my leg again, and it wasn't as intense as it happened when I fell out of the stunt, but it was still pretty bad. And I told my dad, like, I don't understand if this is a strained meniscus. If this is a strained meniscus, why this is hurting so bad? Like, I don't think it should be hurting this bad. So my dad ordered an MRI for me to check out what was happening with my knee, considering that this was about 2 months after my injury. And so this is the quick story on the day that I found out what happened at my MRI. First of all, let me talk about the MRI. I got my MRI I got my MRI on a Monday night after cheer practice, and let me just tell you, MRIs are actually a little bit scary. So the lady like strapped my leg in like this little cuff to like, I guess, center where the MRI thing was. I just remember this place was very cold, but the lady was super nice, and she was really funny, and I liked her. And then I remember it just looks like you look like a sandwich going into the MRI. You just like went in there, and there's just all these like weird noises, and it just, I don't know, it kind of sounded like a construction center, like a construction zone like happening in the MRI place. And she gave me like little plugs to put in my ears because it was really loud, and it just, all these weird noises were kind of happening. And like I tried to sleep, and it was really hard to actually stay still for 20 minutes like that. I'm really like, I can't stay still for 20 minutes, and it was very hard to stay still, but you know, I made it. So yeah. That Wednesday after practice, I had a doctor's appointment to discuss like what my MRI results were. And so when I went into the doctor's office, like my dad and the doctor were already talking in the back room, and like they're really good friends, so I didn't really think too much of it. So he sat me down, and he was like, I'm sorry to tell you, but like, I didn't believe this at first, but you have a torn ACL. And when I heard that I had a torn ACL, I didn't believe it at first, considering like I was able to walk, I was able to do some tumbling. Like, I didn't want it to be a torn ACL, because torn ACLs mean that you have to get surgery. And later I found out that it's a 4 to 6 month rehab process to strengthen your knee and just do physical therapy. And so my dreams of becoming a college cheerleader were not shattered. I don't want to say that they were shattered, because I know that they're going to just be postponed. And I know that there's going to be a very long road to recovery, but I know that I'm going to come back stronger than I started, and I'll be better than ever. And it was just like really upsetting and kind of devastating to me, considering that for the past year I've been working my butt off to like increase my tumbling skills and become a better flyer and just get ready for college cheer, and to have all of that just taken away from me because of a torn ACL. So later that night, my dad and I were at home, and we talked about what this injury meant for my cheer career. And I decided that I wasn't gonna let this stop me from chasing my dreams of becoming a college cheerleader. Like, if I wasn't able to try out for college cheer my freshman year, I would just take that year off and like increase my skills again and maybe super senior to where I could try out for college cheer my sophomore year. I am willing to do whatever it takes so I can be able to cheer in college. My dream's not over, it's gonna be postponed probably because of the physical therapy that I have to do. And so we discussed on when I should have my surgery, and I decided that I wanted to have my surgery after football season because this is my senior year and I wanted to finish off my senior year cheering during the football season, because I've worked way too hard to become a captain of my team and I wasn't gonna give that up just because of an injury. So I had surgery on November 8th of 2017, and I'm gonna just tell you a quick little summary of my day of how my surgery went. And so first of all, we signed in and we got there roughly around like 6:30, 6:45. And we had to leave my house by probably 5 since we live so far away from the surgical center. And so we signed in and I had a blanket, so I was able to kind of take a little nap before the nurse called me in. And she called us into the place where they were about to give me surgery, like not like the waiting room, because it's like the waiting room with like the hospital beds and stuff. And so because since I was getting surgery at an in-and-out surgical center, like it was just kind of hospital beds. And I remember the place just being very white, like very bright, very white, and very cold. It was a very big shock to my system, that's all I'm gonna say. And I remember putting on a purple like hospital gown, which, you know, kind of made me a little happy because it was purple and it was kind of stylish, I'm not gonna lie. And then I put my hair up into the like little, it's not a shower cap, but like hair cap, I guess, hair net. And then I also put on the socks, and the doctor had me put on white, like, it was almost like one side of like leggings onto my leg, my right leg, considering that I'm not going to get like, no, he had me put on tights onto my right leg, which was the leg that I was not getting surgery on. And then he had my mom sign my left leg to make sure that they knew that that was the leg to operate on. But I really liked my nurses there and I really enjoyed my doctor. But there's one thing I didn't really enjoy, and that was the IV. The IV was not fun. First of all, she says most of the time they put them in your hand, but this time she put it in my arm for some reason. I don't know why. But I remember like that IV going in and it hurt so bad. Like, I don't like shots, and this IV was like a shot times 10 because it was huge, and then she taped it, and I just remember it going in and I was like, this hurts a lot. Like, I don't enjoy this. But you know what? You have to take an IV. It's not fun. But whatever. That was like the worst part of my whole entire like surgery, I guess. So the lady put in like the stuff that like makes you go a little bit like more calm down and not as nervous into my IV bag or something like that. However, that stuff works. And then I was going to get 2 nerve block shots, and when I heard that I had to get more shots, I was not very happy. I was not a happy camper. Like, but this guy told me that these shots would only feel like little mosquito bites, and I'm gonna just say that like these shots hurt like a lot less than the IV hurt. I don't understand how the IV hurts so much, but like these little shots were very little. They didn't hurt at all. And let me just say, these nerve blocking shots were like the way and the key to my success. They are the reason why I didn't feel as much pain as I could have, and why my recovery was so much better than it could have been. Like, it was a lot better than like if I didn't have these nerve blocking shots. And so I don't really remember much about going under, and the lady told me that I wouldn't. I thought she was lying, but considering that I don't remember anything, I just remember the mosquito shots going in and like going to the monitor to show, because he was showing me like where the nerves were, and he was showing me which nerve he was touching and poking, and like my leg was moving, and it was really weird considering that I wasn't really thinking about it, but my leg was moving. And so that was pretty cool. Quick story time. I woke up from my surgery and I didn't really know where I was. Actually I did apparently, because like I woke up from my surgery and I thought I was in a different hospital. Like I could have sworn that I was in a different hospital, and my mom was like, "No, Cory, you're in the same hospital." And no, I was not in the same hospital. I honestly think that they put me in a different hospital. Like I did not wake up in the same hospital. So for the first 2 or 3 days after my surgery, every 3 hours I would alternate between pain meds and ibuprofen. Luckily, I had my dad who was able to wake me up so I could take my pain meds or ibuprofen, and then I could go back to sleep, because I was just so tired that I don't think I would be able to wake up myself. And the next day I got a CPM machine, which if you have a knee injury, you understand what this is, but if you haven't had a knee injury, it's a machine that mechanically bends and extends your knee, like your leg, sorry. So the CPM machine mechanically bends and extends your legs so that you can increase your flexibility and mobility in your knee so that it doesn't lock up. And I also got an ice machine that compresses my knee and puts on ice, so like that helped a lot. And it helped keep my swelling down. And then a week later, like exactly a week, on the next Wednesday, I got to see my surgeon and my appointment went really well. So a week later after my surgery, I had a checkup appointment with my doctor, and during this appointment, he showed me on the wall there's an illustration of a knee and all the ligaments and tendons in the knee to show it how it's supposed to work and all their like functions and stuff. And he showed me pictures from my surgery, since I had a arthroscopic ACL surgery and I used the cadaver method. And so he showed me what my ACL looked like, and it looked disgusting. Like my torn ACL looked really disgusting. It looked like, this is the best way I can describe it. If you had water and you put bread into water, like the bread just being there, that's what my torn ACL looked like. And then he showed me like what the cadaver like ACL looked like, and it was very like strong and tight, and you could like see like that's how an ACL is supposed to look like. I also had a very minor tear in my meniscus, but that was easy to, stitch up with just one stitch. So he wasn't too worried about it, but he stitched it up anyways.
Kneecap looks perfect. See how nice and shiny and white your cartilage is? That's what it's supposed to be. Here's your meniscus. Looks good. Had a little, see, that's a micro tear, but very small. No, I mean, we fixed it, but it's nothing that's ever going to cause you a problem. You had a lateral meniscus tear. See, on the lateral side over there, that's what that is. Here's your ACL. It's just in a lot of pieces. That makes sense. It should be nice and straight like this. So, yeah, I'll show you real good though. There should be one more set. Here, look at this. This is the graft. See? That's what an ACL should look like. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Here's the tunnel holes we're making. So the graft looks great. So you're going to do really good. So yeah, it really did go great. It did. The scars should be very small and not noticeable later, hardly at all.
So my rehab should last anywhere between 4 to 6 months, and I'll tell you more next time on Cory's ACL Cheercovery vlog. See you then. Bye!